I bet your organization has a strategic plan or a direction or growth targets, and that the organization needs to rally behind that to support it in order for it to happen. How do you ensure that your learning efforts are aligned to and support your organization's direction? Creating a vision paints this picture of where you're headed, and it's not the tactics that will get you there, but the tactics will get you there, but the vision isn't this first step. This first step serves as goalposts and what you're aiming for. When I work with learning and development directors or human resource leaders, they often struggle to define this vision. And when we start working together, I guide them through a process of assessing their goals and their environment. And from that assessment, we can then make recommendations and the implementation plan, which is where the tactics come in. But in this first step of assessing, we use interviews and focus groups and surveys. And oftentimes with the interviews, I suggest that they invite the person they're interviewing to imagine a scenario. So for example, I'll say, imagine that you're at a barbecue. So for the interviewee, imagine that you're at a barbecue and you join in a conversation where there's a colleague who's talking about your organization. And they're describing how they feel supported, what they're learning and how they're growing in their role. And if you heard that person talking, what would they be saying? And then I let the interviewee answer. And I find that by asking leaders to imagine themselves in this situation or a similar situation, you're asking them to envision a different future, and it's making it a little bit more tangible as opposed to abstract. What would you like learning and development to be like in 5 years, for example? It makes it a little bit anchored in reality. And then this then becomes the beginnings of the vision that they need to create to ensure that the learning function aligns with and supports the organization's strategy and goals. So I thought I'd share that scenario tip that you can certainly use when you're working with clients and creating your own learning strategy to support your organization's goals.